But I want to hear your take on, I guess, the pay-to-play route. There's networking where you're networking with just at coffee shops or chamber meetings or BNI. And then there's spending the money to join country clubs that might be $5, $10, $15, $50,000 buy-ins, or networking groups like masterminds we can talk about. What are your ideas on the pay-to-play?
Well, I've done it both ways, and today is a lot different than what I did, and it's a lot about mindset, really. And what I say, and I say it to all of my clients, this is my way. It's not the right way, but it's the right way for me. So I did pay to play. I was in Hardcore Closer group with Ryan Stewman. That's $2,500 a month. And what are you getting out of that $2,500? It's kind of undefined, and I got plenty out of it. I got a great education. We talked about a little bit earlier. I learned. I got to rub shoulders with some very important people. I got to travel quite a bit and see how people were doing things in their own industry and in their own backyard. At this point, I never regret spending that money. It was probably the best money I spent at that time. But I would never do it again for where I am now, because now. I belong to a country club, but it's because they have a great swimming pool. My kids love it there. We like to go there and eat dinner. And I am a horrible golfer, but I don't have to hold anybody else up because it's, I'm a member there, and there's plenty of times I know when to go. So I use it a lot differently than most people do. My networking today consists of I put on some events. I try to add value to people for free. I'm a profit first professional. I teach that course for free to business people all the time. And people go, what's the catch? The catch is I get to know you. I've provided you something of value. And I always say, if you can lead with value, people will come to you. Mm-hmm. I've never gone wrong by giving something away. And so every morning, and it's funny, you mentioned Cool Beans, and I'll give them a shameless plug. Cool Beans is on the square in Medina. It's a great coffee shop. I spend 30 minutes there every single morning. My office is 1 block away. I could easily go and brew. I have a Keurig machine there. I could go brew my coffee there and have my coffee in my office where it's peaceful, quiet, and I'm uninterrupted. However, when I go to Cool Beans for 30 minutes every single day, if the mayor walks in, I say, hi, Mayor Hanwell, and he says, hey, Sam. And people around that see, and they think, people go, hey, that guy must be important. I'm not important, but I make it my business to know what's going on in my community. And for a real estate agent, I think that's probably the most vital thing that you can do.
Well, it's funny, what I just thought of when you said you can never go wrong giving something away, and it just hit me. You know who does the best networking? Our funeral directors. They are the best networkers. Or I shouldn't say all of them, because I know a couple that aren't, but they have to be, because you can't go out like, hey, listen, when your loved one dies, you kill them, we'll chill them. You can't play that game as a funeral director. But the only way a funeral director gets business, you don't see them marketing. They get involved in the communities. Right. They get involved in the Chamber of Commerce. They donate their time. They volunteer at all the events, and that's how they build that relationship.
That's a great point. I never thought about the funeral directors. You don't see a lot of billboards for them.
Well, that's funny. I think it's really important too with across industries. I don't think it happens enough from the standpoint of just getting to know. Hey, here's a funeral director. I don't know any funeral directors. However, it would be interesting enough. I would ask that guy a lot of questions if I were able to do so. And that doesn't happen enough across industries. Even in our own industry, we don't talk enough to, we were laughing, the investor versus the real estate agent. Sometimes we don't communicate well enough unless we happen to be working a deal together. There's a lot of nuances that we can share that really build the network.